Hi, I'm Dan Martin. I'm CEO of IFX in San Diego, and we're really excited to tell you about a great event that's coming up this coming December. It's actually our 15th annual Strategic Franchise Conference that's designed specifically for franchise executives of both startup franchise organizations and established franchise organizations. We've been in business now for about 16 years, and we're supporting over 230 franchise brands with strategies on how to maximize their bottom line. So we've got a conference that we've been doing for 15 years now where we've added a whole new format to this year's conference that was attended by about 130 franchise executives last year. That's a linear format. We're actually starting out with the basics of franchise development fundamentals. And how can you walk a candidate through a process now of milestones that put them in touch with what their profile is necessary to be a high-performance franchisee faster. How do you get new franchisees on board and open faster and up to numbers that you need to have so they're making money and you're making money? So we're going to start with this linear format with the franchise development process, and then when we check off certain boxes on strategies and tactics, we're going to move into franchisee ROI. Basically, we call the new ROI basically the bottom line, maximizing efficiencies, leveraging and consolidating your brand, leveraging vendors, and boosting revenues, in addition to boosting morale. So this new ROI tactic is something that we've employed into a structure of our conference to make it so that you can take a workbook that's written out by section to cover this linear format for strategies that boost the bottom line ROI of your franchisees after we've successfully gone through franchise development. So once you've got this bottom line honed in on, we've got a success rate that we can then apply to the franchisee, we've checked off certain strategies, we go into day 2 of this conference after a whole lot of networking, a fantastic 5-star dinner. There is alcohol involved in golf. We go into the franchisor ROI. So we take all of the best strategies from the franchisee return on investment with morale and bottom line and efficiencies being included, and everything we learned in franchise development, and we apply it to the franchisor's bottom line. So if you're a new franchisor, there's about 138 strategies that you're going to learn at this conference that you'll never get at any other conference. If you're established, we actually have a series of mastermind sessions, a panel of the pros, and a new think tank session that will be featuring a series of tactics specifically for a panel of franchise executives that get up and say, here's where we are now in terms of our development, how do we get to the next level? And we'll have over 100 franchise executives in the room all helping each other to manage that strategy for that particular franchisor to get them to the next level following these tracks in linear format. We'll also be covering all the nuances and mysteries about social media and what can you use specifically as a franchisor that are unique to franchising right now, not something that's pie in the sky or something that's nebulous. What can you do with social media right now to actually generate more leads for your franchisees, more customers? What can you do to generate more franchise candidates? What can you do to protect your brand now? How do you enforce your brand on the internet? Who does that? We even have a policy that we'll be conveying in this year's conference about what you need to insert into your FDD to cover all the aspects of how social media can be handled by all your franchisees. Centralized, controlled, and engaging, all in one platform throughout one whole half-day session. And then we'll be talking about the latest technologies in franchising to make you run more efficiently either as a startup or established franchise operation. So it's a 3-day conference coming in, and it's a management conference, and about 130 franchise executives will be there. So unlike a lot of conferences that have 2,000 people, where you can't really get to know people and establish those relationships and ultimately deal with what your issues are as a franchise executive, we can do that at our IFX conference. In fact, we surveyed all of the attendees from last year's conference, and 80% of them sent back returns of ranking our conference as an 8 or a 9 or a 10 as the best franchise conference they've ever attended. In fact, there's testimonials on our site that you can go to see what other franchise executives have experienced this once-a-year, one-time event that is huge for both startup and established franchise companies. So if you'd like to go to the website, it's www.ifxconference.com, and you'll read about this linear format that we have, that is step by step. You'll also read about a brand new franchise strategic blueprint workbook that we put together, which is a blueprint of these steps laid out in a linear format that you can check off. You can literally check off which ones you want to consider, which strategies you want to implement, and then we're going to follow up with you directly on which strategies you actually implemented and ultimately benefited from in terms of running real-world analytics at the franchisee level or the franchisor level. You know, if you've been a franchisor for a period of time, you know it's all about helping your franchisees and boosting their bottom line. Well, we're going to add morale and leveraging and consolidating to that as well. And then we're going to help you actually manage your operation and run your franchise organization to help your franchisees with a whole series of strategies and tactics and tips that you've never heard of before that are gravity-free, what we call gravity-free thinking. And then we'll be working as a group to define a whole series of elements that you can take away with this blueprint the third day of this conference, right back to your office, hand off to your operations team, already written out, and have them actually implement these strategies that we talk about at our 3-day conference. So if you get a chance to go to one conference all year, this is the conference to go to. It's the most highly rated, it's the most interactive, it's the most intimate. Everything's 5-star. It's a C-level retreat event for 3 solid days in San Diego in December. So again, when you get a chance, you can take advantage of our advanced discount rates by going to www.ifxconference.com. And if you have any questions at all, you can reach me at dan@ifxonline.com, or you can give me a call on the number that's on our website, which is 858-724-1024. I'll be glad to help you out with what we're going to be talking about. If you want to be part of our think tank session, if you want to be on our panel of the pros, if you want to take advantage of these strategies in advance, we can start to get you on board right now. So go check out our website. We'd love to see you at our annual conference coming up this December. Thanks a lot, and I hope to see you soon.